Wealth. I'm your host, Tyhson Banighen, the founder of the Extraordinary Healing Arts Academy. Join me as we get the latest insight, tips, and strategies from wellness providers, coaches, and successful, heart-centered entrepreneurs, and much, much more. All right, do you want me to go? Okay. Welcome to the Wellness Show on Health, Wealth, and Enlightenment, and I'm your host, Tyhson Banighen. It looks like Laura may be joining us later, but until then, welcome to the show. And today's show is about angels, elementals, and humans. Phone in toll free and receive a clearing with regard to whatever's showing up in your life, good, bad, and the ugly. And so I'm with you for the next hour to help you get out of your way, take back your personal power, stand in your truth no matter what. So without further ado, we will start the show. So the reason I wanted to talk about this favorite topic of mine is we're in this major change of planetary transformation, both, and of course, personal transformation as well. And part of it has to do, from my point of view, has to do with the fact that we've alienated ourselves from nature, and therefore by alienating ourselves from nature, because we don't treat it as a living entity, we think of it since the scientific revolution as inert. In other words, Divine Mother isn't a living entity. It's only just matter, and therefore we can do anything we want. We can mine it, we can pollute it, we can do whatever we want to, and there's no consequences, because in our scientific rational point of view, we don't see Mother Earth as a living entity, when in actual fact she is. And in fact, without her being a living entity, call her Gaia or whatever you want to call her, or Mother Earth, we wouldn't be alive, because she has to regulate a very small band in temperature differentiation that allows human life to survive. If it's too hot, we don't survive. It's too low, it doesn't survive. So how does it, through civilization after civilization, how is it that Mother Earth can regulate the right conditions for us to live? And of course, then there's also major catastrophes that happen on the earth, which people say are acts of God. What if they aren't acts of God? What if they're actually the reciprocal relationship between our relationship as humans to Mother Earth as a living entity? And therefore, when there's too much trauma or too much abuse to the Divine Mother or to Mother Earth, then there has to be reciprocal cleansing and healing. Just like if your body is too toxic, then you're going to have a sickness or ill, or if you have a poison in your body, you're going to throw up, or you're going to have mucus or whatever. You're going to try and expel that trauma from your body. That's no different than Mother Earth trying to do the cleansing and healing, whether it's a volcano, a hurricane, a tornado, or whatever, right? It is Mother Earth, earthquakes, trying to do that balancing of the healing power, because she's always trying to keep that boundary sustained for humans and all of life forms to be able to be alive, because her whole job as her children of Mother Earth is to support us in our evolution and consciousness. So we're intimately connected. We are like the global brain of Gaia. So therefore, for the global brain of Gaia, and we individually are like cells in the brain, then the only way that we can create a neural network that is harmonious with Mother Earth, rather than being a cancerous organism which just does what it wants to do, creates pollution and difficulties and revolutions and God knows what all on the face of the earth. If as individual cells of the global brain, if each human is like a cell for the global brain, then we need to come back together as a new neural network, right? We have to, the collective consciousness, call it Christ consciousness, Christ grid, or Teilhard de Chardin talks about it as an omega point. There's been many, many descriptions of what this state of consciousness is like and what it's called. It's like cosmic consciousness, or universal peace would be a state of that consciousness. It's attempt to describe what it would be like when humans come together to form the global brain or the new neural pathways for the planet. And then we are then inheriting our responsibility as stewards or guardians of the planet, which it says in the Bible. We all have, dominion over all the plants and flowers and animals, whatever. Unfortunately, the word dominion, I hope, is the wrong interpretation. I would say dominion over is more like stewardship with or co-creation with, right? It's a co-creative interchange that needs to happen. So that's why I've chosen the topic today, which is angels. And here's Laura. We'll just bring Laura in so she can join the conversation. So that's why the topic is angels, humans, and elementals.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. So we're underway and we're talking about the triune relationship between humans, angels, and elementals, and talking about that as individuals on the planet, we are like cancer to Mother Earth. And in fact, if you actually, somebody did this, looks at what cancer looks like in a brain, and then you pull up and look at the pattern that a city creates on Mother Earth, it looks no different than cancer in the brain. I thought that was really
Oh, the like, yeah,
right.
yeah.
So,
Oh,
so the interesting thing is, if we are doing our own thing as individual beings, and you know, we are like a cancer cell. The only way that we can become harmonious as a unit, as part of the global brain, the cosmic consciousness that is informing and working with Divine Mother, is we have to work together. So this is why coming together and learning how to work in a group is so important, whether it's 12 around one or a mastermind or whatever. We need to learn how to live in community of like-minded people. And that's the way we work towards universal peace. So that relationship between us as humans collectively creating a new neural network for the global brain means we're stepping into our responsibility as earth stewards, not dominion over, like it says in the Bible, of all the fishes and the fowl and the whatever and the beasties on the planet, but stewardship. And stewardship is really a co-creative relationship with Mother Earth, right? We're in this together. And I was talking about that Mother Earth regulates
mm-hmm.
the temperature of life. Too much, and we die; too little, and we die according to oxygen and all the rest. It's like our human body. Without our human body doing all that regulating, we would not exist, right? And so the Mother Earth does that for all of humanity and all of life. So since the scientific revolution, we've treated it, Mother Earth, as inert, as she's just matter. Therefore, we can do, it's the death of the Divine Mother. That's really what we're talking about. And we're talking about, the coming of the Divine Mother, the return of the Divine Mother. It's recognizing that the Divine Mother is Mother Earth. She needs to be recognized as the divine feminine. And if we have abused her by literally pronouncing her dead, we're denying the whole feminine aspect of ourselves, and created it into a shadow that somehow the divine feminine is in conflict with us, right? And this is a male patriarchal attempt to declare the Mother Earth as dead so it can be exploited through mining and doing whatever you want to, oil drilling, whatever. Therefore, you don't have to do any ceremony. You don't have to have any appreciation. You can just literally do whatever the hell you want to do. So the topic today of the triune relationship between elementals, humans, and angels is, to me, this is a new co-creative relationship to bring about the global brain, or the new synthesis of humans that creates this new neural pathway, or call it global peace or peace on Earth, requires all the elemental forces, which are the earth energies, which are, some people call them about the 5 directions, and Mother Earth below, and this, and the sky above, or the Father and the Mother, and that relationship, that pole, which is also within inside of ourselves in all these directions, as being part of the elemental forces. So you can see them as directions, You can see them as colors, because each one of those in the First Nations has a color and a flag and ceremony that's done in each one of those directions, wherever you are, to bless, do ceremony on your land. A medicine wheel does that. It creates a vortex of energy in the land to honor that, to do sacred ceremony. But also, it also relates to the other elementals that we inhabit the planet with. So there's the animal kingdom, the plant kingdom, and all those. But also there's the unseen relationship, which are the 5 elements, which are, for air is the sylphs, and for the fire is salamanders, and for the earth is goblins, and what did I miss? And then for water, it's sprites. So these are the names that are given to it, which is sort of strange because they're from the Eastern European tradition. But from an elemental perspective, it is just energy. And it's sort of bothersome for an elemental to try and sort of, well, you know what it is to put skinny jeans on, right? It's really difficult to put skinny jeans on. And that's what an elemental has to do to show up to be a fairy with wings. And it puts on this guise of a fairy with wings because that's what humans, the only way humans could recognize that energy. So, I mean, if you were a Mayan, it would be in the form of a glyph within a square. And how, if you're an energy, how would you like to try and make yourself into a square or like a glyph so that people would understand your energy? So,
right, and recognize you.
Yeah, and recognize you.
Gotcha.
But I do have a cool video, and I don't know if I can bring up this cool video easily. I'll just see if it happens to be open. Yeah, it is. So I'm going to do this. This is sort of, now that I said that, you can actually see what they look like. So I'm going to show a video here. So just a sec here. This is sort of fun. But this just happened to show up. So this is a guy. Can you see the video?
Yeah.
This guy is like, he's like a leprechaun himself. He's just like a big leprechaun. I love this guy, okay? And now he's sitting in the woods, and he goes there every day to work with the elementals, right? So just watch. Just hoping we get the right place.
Shot of one. Let's keep it up there.
Now you're going to watch up in the rocks there where the tree is, and you'll see a little being appear.
I was a bit loud there and I was talking.
Yeah, he says, I'm talking, I'm disturbing them. And they know him because he's been with them many, many times.
Oh, it's raining. That's
oh, we missed him. Okay, so we can go back and catch him again. Somewhere in here.
That was a quick glimpse there.
He said that was a quick glimpse.
Watching up behind me on that ledge.
So up here on this ledge, watch.
There was just something.
You'll see a little being come out to the edge.
Yeah.
Yep, there it was.
Huh. It's just there.
Did you see it?
I didn't see it that time, but.
You see? That was a quick glimpse there. Okay.
There was a better one of that, but anyway, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. But the cool thing is they actually know him, and he leaves them little gifts and everything. See if you can see this again.
There.
He'll come right out here.
You see? That was a quick glimpse there.
Anyway, the point is that, for some people that sit still in nature and have a relationship with these little beings, they will appear. Now, this little being doesn't have to put itself into wings or anything like that.
There he is. Okay.
Oh, there he is. Did you see him? There he is. Look, right here.
There.
You see him?
Yep.
Isn't that cool? He's like a little space alien being.
We've got a shot of one.
All right.
Yeah.
So there you are, just to show you that they do exist, and in that case, they can be who they are. They don't have to, take on a different form. They're just elemental beings that look like little humans or little aliens. Whoops, I have to shut him Sorry, bud, you have to go now.
Was that on YouTube?
Yeah.
I'm gonna check him out because he's cute.
Yeah, he is a cute little guy. Okay. So I just wanted people to know that they do exist, right? And when you are still in nature, yeah, I'll give you the link, Michael, at the end of the show, if that's okay with you. So yeah, so I just wanted people to know that there are different levels of reality, and when you're still in common nature, all sorts of magical things can happen. I know Laura's had this experience. I know I've had this experience. If you really want to experience nature, just go sit in a place like that. Now, he chose that place because it's a beautiful tree, and there's also rock ledges around because these little beings don't want to be seen by anything that could attack them. So they use this as a place where they come to, right?
Mhm.
And so he knows that. And so he comes there every day and he leaves them little gifts and he puts them on sticks so they can find them. So he has an intimate relationship, so they don't mind showing up for them because they feel safe. But that's the same with anything.
Right.
In the forest, the animals have to feel that you're safe. And if you're calm and in your totally grounded, then animals will come and visit with you. And if you want to know more about that, then read the books on Anastasia, the Ringing Cedars, where she actually lives in the taiga forest in Russia and was fed by the squirrels, and the animals would feed her. They would bring her food. And her blanket was a big bear that would sleep with her in the den and keep her warm. Okay, so I know that sounds extraordinary, but it isn't. So to me, this is what it is to be what I would call an eco-spiritual steward of the planet. You have an intimate relationship with all of creation, from the pixies and the elementals all the way through that kingdom, and I know how to relate with them, speak with them, commune with them, and co-create with them. But then the next level is to work with the angels, and we do that partly with talked about working with the seraphim, talked about what it is to channel or to have the seraphim energies come through us. Divine Mother is another level up, but it is similar, where you're allowing the communion of the energies from an angel, which is in many cases nonverbal. Now, some people do channel, Archangel Michael and all the different angels, and I don't want to discredit that. But what I'm talking about is just the pure energy of that connection, where it is sent to you non-verbally as part of that. And of course, I think, so that's one other aspect of working with the angelic kingdom. Now, Laura, you talk about another dimension, and I've really never thought of it as part of the triune, and that is working with the ancestors. So I would say, and maybe I'm wrong, but when you do your voice, right, coming through, that's really ancestral, right? It's certainly not from this plane, right?
Right. Yep.
And it's certainly not from this time zone. No. So I think it has to do with your Atlantean or Lemurian or whatever roots.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so why don't you give an example of what that is? Can you do that with regard to whatever? Like, let's say you were, would you be able to do that with regard to what we're talking about?
Speak in tongue.
Yeah.
Talk to the elementals.
Yeah. Well, speaking in tongues, when you're speaking, are you speaking in tongues, or are you using light language? That's a good question. And it doesn't matter because they're only labels. So what I'm saying, light language, I think, is historically part of the voice of languages that comes by way of our ancestors. Let's put it that way. Speaking in tongues, I think may have to do more with being able to communicate with angelic and other kingdoms that are not necessarily historically related. In other words, they're present in the moment and available. Would you agree to that? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, because it comes through like if when you have to birth a baby, or if you have to sneeze. Like it come like that's how strong it is with me. I have to do it. I
Right.
like stop people and be like, just, and you've seen me do it, so you
Yeah.
understand.
So that's not language like language. You're really doing speaking in tongues, right?
I guess so. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
I'm just
I know
helping you
exactly.
also discover what your gifts are, because some people do Atlantean type sounds, right? That's light language, and I don't know what I think about that. But you know, lots of people do that, and lots of people teach people how to do that. But that's different from what you do. But the point I'm trying to say is the unseen world, or what we don't see is seen because we don't have the right frequency to it yet, is part of what this co-creative relationship is in order to be equal spiritual, you can call warriors or stewards of the
Mhm.
new earth, which is forming this new neural network of brain consciousness for the evolution of planet Earth, or Gaia, which we talked about in the last show as what we call the new Earth. And we're talking about, are the new Earth somewhere else, or is there conduit from here to there, a portal, or you know, is it another dimensional reality, or is it this?
Mhm.
All these different theories. But the point is, to arrive at that, we're talking about this as the stepping stones to arrive there, is this triune relationship between angels, or let's call it the upper kingdoms, right? Or the
Yeah.
higher frequencies. And
Mhm.
let's call, and I don't want to demean elementals, but let's call it lower in the sense of vibrational, connected to the,
It's two-dimensional.
operating of the, so in the Mayan, they would say this is the underworld where the elementals are, this is our world, and they would call that upper world. So they call it the triune relationship of the three worlds, right? They talk about it as the three worlds.
You,
And in the Mayan cosmology, it was the ant people that helped build the ladder for us to move from the ant kingdom, or from the lower kingdom, to this kingdom now, which is the kingdom that we're living in. And now they say that there'll be another ladder to the fifth next dimension that will take us to the next level. So the stir story is we came from the ant people. And it's interesting because the ant kingdom is showing up in my cottage. The ant kingdom is showing up, like, just every time I turn around, there's more stories about ants. So it's pretty interesting, you know, how things come through in packets of information to educate us. So there you are. That's the triune relationship that I wanted to talk about. And of course, we talked about, you know, that where three or more are gathered, there am I, and that the
Mhm.
basic building block of the universe, of the multiverse, and ourselves as the tetrahedron, which is three, you know, the three relationship between the three kingdoms, right? And then you put three people together doing that, right? Or Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, or, you know, um, Divine Mother, Feminine, Divine Father, and the Son or the daughter. So over and over, you get the three as coming up of the triune relationship to bring about creation and or the new world. This is the basic building block. That when you then expand it out, then, as we said before, it becomes the Merkaba, right? And then we have interdimensional travel. We have the sacred union between male and female, which in the center, in the union, either sexually, spiritually, or intellectually, creates a 0 point where we have the divine marriage, right?
right.
So it just is a way of combining this all together and giving us a path that we can travel from, to take us from here to what we call the new earth. So
Right.
that's what I want to talk about. So the lines are open if you'd like to comment on this. And this is the last show that we are available for you to do this type of question and answering about what we're talking about. We do have Carla tomorrow, and we'll be doing talking about empaths. What can you expect as an empath at this particular time on the planet? We'll be receiving calls then, and then the show is going into hiatus, or is going to stop for at least, at the very least, the month of August. So if you
Mhm.
would like to receive clearing or healing or ask questions, now the time is now. And
Yeah.
now is the time, right? There's no time like the present. So it's just over. We just let 10 new people into the dowsing and energy healing, which is really part of the Facebook group where we have these discussions that carry on between the shows, right? Where we get the comments and the feedback on the different clearings that we're offering, and offering people to learn about dowsing and energy healing. And right now we're at 3,967. So we're getting very, very close to 4,000 in that group. And if you want to know more about dowsing and energy healing, of course, we have an online class. Actually, it's a class in person. It's a group coaching opportunity with myself. Laura, you're in that group as well. And it's a 6-month-long certification program where then you get to be certified and use the deep clearing protocol in all of the things that I teach. And I just want people to know about that. And there's 2 ways you can do it. You can do it with us at $333 live, right? Where you got to come and be with us, or you can do it at half price, which is $125, where you're looking at what we talked about the week previous, but the last week you get to come in and do questions and answers. So I wanted to make it a really valuable, make it affordable for people that can't afford the $333, that you can come in at half price. You'll still get the benefit of everything we've done. You just won't be participating to the same extent. You'll certainly be able to do it in the last day in the week, in the month, where you can ask questions and get your answers done.
For sure.
All right. And so if you're really excited about what we're talking about here, about that triune relationship between angels, humans, and elementals, then I really encourage you to do the other class, which is certification, which is called Boots on the Ground, which is geomancy, which is learning how to do this in your home, in the land, and also doing earth healing and what are sacred sites all about. And it's sort of how is the cosmology of the planets reflected, and how did our ancestors use that cosmology to build structures in the landscape that connected them to the planets from which they came? And how can you too do a medicine wheel, or create a medicine wheel or standing stones, so you too can have that interdimensional communication? So that's what that certification course is all about. So you can move from this experience about learning about all these different things here, and have it expanded in these courses that we provide. So the lines are open. It's quiet out there. I don't know if there's anything on Facebook. I don't know if you've had a chance to see.
Debbie Ethel said Father, Son, and the Mother Goddess. Kai Crystal says that little pixie, so cute. Debbie, thank you.
By the way, Crystal has seen pixies, or I don't know if it was pixies. I think it was a water sprite that she saw, because she's had that experience.
Oz says, how long are you going to take a break? When will you start again?
That's up in the air. I have no idea. I'm really focusing on writing my book because I want to get this information out to a lot wider audience.
Yep.
And these shows here, to be honest, are helping me write my book, right? So I've had so much information. Like this will be what I'm talking about today will be another chapter in the book. So the show is really about talking to you, Laura, and I appreciate that, and to everybody out there, to talk about a subject so I can get the information coming through me that I can then get transcribed, which then kicks me into gear to say, well, that's how I would say it. But if I'm writing it, I need to explain it this way or that way. And then that chapter gets written. So I would say, when do we have the show again? I guess when I need to write another chapter. Right?
You're so funny.
Well, that's true. I mean, that's what this is all about, is that you're really getting an opportunity. And I encourage you, by the way, each one of these shows has a certain topic, and it's labeled as a topic. And you can listen to them as podcasts. You can take them on your vacation. You can go lie in your hammock and listen to them on podcasts. You just go to iTunes or to Spotify, and you type in the wellness show, and you can listen to any one of these as a soundtrack and take it wherever you want. Go take it to the beach or whatever. You can use it. which are well worth listening to. So if you're interested in looking at alternative healing technologies and really interesting people, like David Adelson talks about money and getting out of your way about money. And if you want to learn about the Court of Atonement, there's 6 in a series there about Amy Jo Ellis and the Court of Atonement. And if you want to learn about, why go to the gym anyway? There's a 13-part series on the esoteric principles of bodybuilding. If you want to know about the relationship between astrology and human development, there's a 13-part series on that as well. So there's lots and lots and lots of, I don't know, Michael, where are we? 400 and what shows? There's a lot of shows. So if you listen to one every day, you'd have more than a year's worth of listening to do, right? And a lot of good. So this is 419, and when we finish this series and go to break, that'll be 420. So it's over a year's worth of listening, right? So lots of content. And if you get a previous of that, which is the healing hour where we do the clearings. So yeah, lots of stuff. But really what we want to do is we want to work with you one-on-one. So we're available for you to have sessions with us and know this has been a freebie. The next freebies with Laura and I are you a good match to work with us, right? So that freebie is like mine are 15 minutes to see whether there's a match. And then there is a cost for that because we have to feed ourselves, right? Yeah. And then you can decide whether you want to work with us. And the Academy is under construction. There'll be very, very clear stepping stones going from the deep clearing of how you can move through and learn basic dowsing and energy healing all the way through to becoming certified with Laura and myself. So those are the things that are coming down the pike in a new book. So I need to focus on the Academy and giving you all stepping stones. And like I said, the Dowsing and Energy Healing Place is really where you can continue the conversation with both of us. We'll be there to help you with your clearings and the wording of your clearings. But we're not really there to do it for you. I really want to make that clear. The time of us doing it for you is coming to an end. There's lots of information there on how to do it. And so you can write out what your clearing is and we can help you, get it clearer so it works for you. Our job is to teach you how to do that. All right.
Debbie Etzel asks, is it too late to send the testimonial for her husband's stroke for the book? I forgot.
No, please. There's lots of time for testimonials for the book. Absolutely. All testimonials are greatly received for the book. And if you are a practitioner and the deep clearing protocol or working with Laura or Tyson was helpful for you, and you include your business in there, right? Then your business connection will be in this book. This is your opportunity. And even further, if you think that one of those topics that I was talking about is just that you have the most advanced information in that area and you really, really want to be in the book, then you can get hold of me and write that chapter. Like I'm open to, I have one other person who's going to be doing a chapter in the book as well. So
we have somebody who said, I love this show. I've had so many people are like, oh, what am I going to do without the show all August?
With the show.
Right.
We're telling you.
I'm telling you that people are going to miss us. They are like, they're hurting.
Well, I think it's great because, people don't phone in and the number of people actually watching the show is very little. So when we actually, to be really, really blunt and honest, because it is bread and butter, when we add everything up and the reach that we have, it's really, really expensive. This is an expensing marketing outreach for us,
Right.
And, if you don't come and play with us and you only play for free, then that has to stop at some time.
Exactly. Yep. The same people are coming on every day, which I appreciate.
Yeah, we do love you.
And we do have other people listening on the shows after. We do get, but summer's hard, People are off doing, even with the COVID, they're off doing what they want to do outside. And I've got tons of lawn work that I'm going to do.
Yeah. And don't forget, like I said, you can listen to the shows through podcasts, take them wherever you want. And you can ask questions from those podcasts, back to the dowsing and energy healing. And if we feel there's enough momentum and enough excitement in the dowsing and energy healing group as we reach a 4,000 people and people are interactive, then obviously it's time for a new show. But to me, if there isn't feedback and isn't excitement, then dancing on an empty stage is not something that I'm overly excited about doing. Right? We love you, but
Yeah.
we need more in an audience, and we know that in COVID-19 we can't have a stage and an audience. You are our audience. That's the only way we can do this. We couldn't bring you all together in one place and teach you either. So
Right. It's true.
oh,
It's true. They've got a lot out of us in the last 4
they
months.
certainly did.
Yeah.
And the thing is, these last 2 days are the only way to squeeze some more out of us, right?
And there's so many people watching right now. I'm like, it's like they're hearing. Like Debbie said, guys, you're my tribe. Wendy says, definitely going to miss your shining faces every morning. Love you guys. Thank you for everything. So we appreciate that a lot.
Yeah, we do love you, and love your comment, especially from the regulars that are here every single morning. There's about 17 of you. Maybe I'm exaggerating. Michael would know better than I do because he gets to see all the different areas in which we're posting that. So we're on YouTube simultaneously, we're on Facebook at the same time, and so doing the stats, and then we have to go over and see who's on the podcast. But the podcast, to be honest with you, has the greatest reach, and all those podcasts that are over a year old are still being watched around the world. So I really, use that as your repository of incredible information and go and check it out, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Go and check it out. This is not The Last of Us. There's like thousands of hours of stuff that you can listen to.
Oz says maybe do it once a week.
Yeah, I think that probably will happen. I know there's a lot of people that want to be interviewed, and I said, no, we're not going to do that. I mean, the first part of the whole series, for the first 100 and something shows, or maybe 200 shows, is me interviewing wellness providers, heart-centered entrepreneurs, and all that. And while that's really, really exciting, it doesn't promote what I'm doing. I'm promoting them. And that's expensive. It's great marketing for them. And it's great to get them out there. It's great for me to get recognized that I love to do this. But that phase doesn't make a lot of sense financially. It's a lot of money to spend to run a show. I mean, really, this is like a very, very expensive to do this. And thank you, Michael, for giving us a break. I helped Michael create the company, the Wide Eyed Video production company. So we've been in this together. So because I'm one of the founders of this, I get a special deal. I'm very blessed and fortunate that we get all this great back end stuff for about, I don't know, Michael, what is it, about a third of the price, a quarter of the price. So if we had to pay full price, we definitely could not do it. The way Michael is doing it with his clients now, 1/4. So we're paying 1/4 of the normal price. And that's around, we're paying to do this show at this level is he's billing me around $500 to $600 a month, which is a quarter what it would cost to do this show the way that we are every single, Monday to Friday for a month. So just to give you an idea, because we have to think about finances. So one of the things for our listeners out there is, okay, would you be willing to pay for this show? Like if we put this behind a closed door, would this be something that you'd be willing to do a subscription for? And if so, what would it look like? And would you be willing to promote it to your friends? Because X number of people that would be the friends of the show and their friends of friends and promoting it would be financially, would be a select group that you could then, have access to us in a very personal way. That's another way that we can look at doing the show. And so either part of the shows could be behind the door with the subscribers to the show, and once a week we could be live to Facebook and the rest of the world. And otherwise, all of that's behind the door in a subscription, and you get the privilege of being with us and also having the back door to the one that we do once a week that's open to the public. So there's all sorts of different ways we can do that. So all of you that love us, if you could just help us figure out what would work for you, okay? Are you willing to pay? All right, this is from Surrey, British Columbia. Welcome to the Wellness Show. Who are we talking to?
Good. Is it morning? Yeah, I guess.
Oh, it's our Valerie. Can you turn us off in the background?
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
What I'm calling for is, could you send me some info? Well, are you receiving guests at your place over the summer?
No, I mean, we're not. We're actually got everything out on the lawn, and we're about to put in a brand new floor and clean and repaint and new furniture, new everything, ready for it to be rented as of the 1st of September on a lease agreement until the summer. And then we open it up by the week for the summer rental for July and August.
You mean next year?
Next year, yeah.
Oh, well, too bad.
Yeah, it is too bad. Yeah, and we're doing a major cleanup. Yeah, if you looked out my window, you'd see furniture, everything is being all on the lawn because anyway, we don't need to go into details. Everything is being cleaned from the bottom to the top.
I was actually thinking I should get away for the summer since I'm in Canada, but
Right. Yes. You could certainly check out a bed and breakfast or something around.
No, I don't want bed and breakfast.
All
I
right.
was thinking to because you seem to have services there, so I thought, but
Yeah.
if you're busy renovating, that's okay.
Well, what I'm saying is, if you come to someplace around us, you can certainly come and visit us and have a dodecahedral sound chamber and experience what we're working on here and hang out. And we just don't have accommodation to take care of.
Work.
We can put you to
What's
work.
she saying?
She says that we can put you to work. That's what she said. But
What?
She said that you can come here and Tyson will put you to work. She's being a brat.
Well, if I came there, I don't care if I did a little bit of work.
Yeah, there you are. There you are. Yeah, there's a
So,
garden to
There
play
you go.
in.
I live here, so
Yeah.
what do you do?
Yeah, exactly. So if you wanted to do that, Valerie, we are open to that. You know,
But my thing is, I don't drive, so
right,
wherever it's bed and breakfast, I'd have to find my way over there.
right. We are about an hour and a half from the airport. So
Yeah. No, I'm talking about bed and breakfast.
oh, right. Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah. Right. Well, we'd have to have your own private shuttle service or something. Anyway, if it's something.
Why don't you send me an email?
All right. I know the local bed and breakfast that was just down the road, and I know you don't want to do bed and breakfast, is closed, but there may be something at Totem Park. I'll check out, see if there's any places around.
Something that's nice.
All right, something that's nice. All right. Yeah, and so there you are. We are redoing Sunnybrae Cottage, and next summer, well, after COVID-19, it is available. And it's a really amazing place where people come and write books. A couple of books have been written by people staying here. People have got off drug addictions and got themselves cleaned up. I don't want any more of that. Thank you. I really want to go upscale from that. I mean,
it's a good job I phoned you so you can advertise.
Exactly. I'm marketing like crazy. Thank you, Valerie.
Yeah, you're welcome.
All right. Love you.
So, me too. And thank you guys for being there. It's at a time when I'm sort of in the middle of a lot of things and doing nothing.
Right. Busy doing nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was thinking I'll at least come up there and at least.
Yeah, well, we'll still work on that.
But send me the info, and I keep forgetting that lady's name.
Who, that wonderful Laura?
Your Laura.
Yeah, Laura.
Tell her she needs to send me her email.
All right, Valerie.
Okay.
So if you look in the show.
Mailing address. No, her mailing address.
So look, so in the show notes is Laura's address, okay?
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Okay, I
yeah.
guess I'm too lazy. I'll go look.
Yeah, you go look, okay? All right.
Okay, thank you
Thanks
guys.
for phoning
Have a great
in,
day.
and thanks for being a regular. Bye for now.
Yeah. No problem. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah. So Sunny Break Cottage, yeah, it's a wonderful place to come.
Mhm.
When I go over there, you know, and Sarah and I put in the floor there, we did the counter, we hired somebody to do the plumbing. And when I'm over there, I think, boy, I wouldn't mind living here. I mean, it's only 400 square feet, but there's something about that cottage, you know, they're just so
Warm and inviting.
nice. Yeah, so energetically amazing. So yeah, it's a great place for people to come and be with us, right? And if all goes of what I'm hoping, hopefully Sarah's listened to me. There's an addition that I have planned, and Sarah says no, 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 no. But I'd love to have another bedroom for guests. So we're working on it, right? My friends down the road, which are builder, he says you just let her go to town, and then when she comes back, it's done. I don't think I can pull that off, but that's what he recommends, right?
Could you do one of those little homes, you know, the tiny homes?
Yeah, there's the ones that are being built. Actually, Michael's at the end of the garden in his van, but we could do a tiny home. We'd have to have it on skids, otherwise it would be illegal.
Skids?
Yeah, it has to be movable. It can't be permanent because they
Mhm.
just changed the zoning regulation. But yeah, that's a possibility that I've been thinking about as well. But it's also, we have a deck that we really don't use, which we have a pergola on, which is all designed from local trees, literally on this property or across the road from our property, that are made of timbers. That's the agreement. I said to the trees, you're dangerous. You could fall in the cottage. I'll cut you down, but I promise you, you'll be in our house. And I made that commitment, and they are now part of our house. So it makes me really feel good, right? So I have trees that I know personally that are now the structure, and it's heavy duty structure in which it can be a second floor and also an extended living room with a new bedroom in there. So anyway.
Come on, Sarah, just say yes. So you can come in.
Yeah, that's right. So there you are. So we got 10 more minutes. So we're open. The lines are open. 1-866-369-7464. So have you had any Little Kingdom or any experience with the little people?
Yeah, I give them my hair. Anytime I cut anyone's hair here, and everyone knows I take the hair out and give it to the elementals. All of my old sage, burnt sage, goes out to the garden.
Do you have a particular place? Like, do you have a little altar place that you do that, or do you scatter it everywhere? How do you do it?
Yeah, I give it to. There's different ones in my yard. So I have a big flower garden in the front corner, and I put that in there, and then I also have blackberries, black caps, and so I leave those for the elementals and put the dog's hair in there too. Well, Charlie's gone. Spirit doesn't really have any hair.
So do you have? Well, I'm asking is you have certain places in your garden that you do this?
Always.
Yeah, sorry, I interrupted you. What was it?
Always, so they know where to go. And then the rabbits and the are now nesting and everything too. So they all feel safe as well.
Great. I know when we do Mayan ceremony, we have chocolates for the little people, and we use cornmeal, and sometimes we use sweets, but you know, it's all used in the 4 directions, right, to honor it.
Do you mulch too? Because I mulch.
Yeah, I leave all the grass clippings on the ground.
No, I meant mulch, like food waste.
Do we compost? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yep, that's it. I said it wrong, didn't I? Compost.
Yeah.
Mulching is
leaving the grass on the lawn, and we do that. Sometimes there's a lot of grass over the septic tank, so we do sometimes rake that up. But yeah, we have a large compost pile, and Michael happens to and Darlene happen to have their van right beside the compost pile, so they're having some mice experience, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so they're getting to meet the mice in their house. Right. So yeah, the compost pile, and used to be, and not so much now, but the ravens would come for breakfast every morning, right? come on the tree, and then check out what's in the compost, and then have their breakfast. So,
Yeah.
we have a pretty lively place. We have to have a big fence around the garden to keep the deer out. Otherwise, the deer just wander through our yard. There's been quite a bear sightings this year too.
Good.
Uh,
Black or grizzly?
Black bears. And there was a brown bear here too at one point. Cinnamon bear, really beautiful.
Not a cinnamon bear. That's a grizzly bear.
Well, he's cinnamon colored. A grizzly can be like black too, right? Yeah.
Is the $33 a month program, is that still going on? That was from Debbie Etzel.
No, because I'm not doing Friday workshops. We went from a lot of people attending them. And so if you're doing a 33-month thing, I need to reimburse you if you paid or I need to figure out what I'm going to make the 33 into. So I haven't done that. I'll be part of the academy. I'd like to do something for everybody. I know Michael took all the clearings out of all of the shows that we did with Michael. So that could be part of, the 33, that all of those go in there. Yeah, I think we'll come up with something around 33 that allows you to have something from us every single month. I haven't figured that all out, but there's sure is a lot of material that we can do. Right now, we're scanning all of Richard Coots's teaching materials. We just sorted it out this morning from a reference material and then things that we'll be scanning in. So all of his teaching materials will be available to everybody as well as a course, or they may get divided up with honoring him into different categories that will go into courses. So that's underway. I'm wondering how to get hold of the other master healer that died, Isabel Studnicki, but I feel sort of strange. Hey, by the way, I'd love to have all of Isabel's notes and teaching aids, but I haven't been brave enough to do that with her daughter, but I would love to have them, right? Otherwise they tend to get thrown away.
I bet you she would love that. If someone asked me for my dad's stuff, I would love it.
Right, okay, I will do that. And we just went through, there's multiple papers, so I'll be able to give them all back. We're just scanning everything into a computer so we can use it, right? So if you're out there and you have a master dowser that's passed, you loved his teachings, you have any videos about that teaching, or you have permission from the descendants, or you have any of the teaching material, we'd love to have it, because the Academy is really a repository for master dowsers. I want this. Well, I was so fortunate to be taught by so many really amazing people. I wanted the next generation to be able to have access to them as well, right?
Right. Absolutely. Especially the ones that are passed on, like
like
Coots and
Richard, and like the one that we're working with,
McCoy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Harold McCoy. It looks like in tapping in, we just tapped into Isabel, and she's not ready to teach yet, but she said that she would. So all of the master teachers, once they know that we're interested on this dimension, they're really quite excited to work with us. So learning how to do that, and this is brand new for me. I was so excited that Harold showed up for us, and then finding out that he's showing up for other people. That's really cool. So now we're asking other master dowsers that have passed on whether they like to work with us, right?
And so far, so good.
So far, so good. So we got 5 minutes, and it's very quiet out there. I don't know why anybody isn't phoning in. They must.
They're not. They're saying it all online here. They said, let's see.
Well, don't forget, we got one more show. We have a lovely Carla coming on, and I really do believe, I've said for the last 3 years with Carla, you need to be doing the Carla show. So I'm really supporting of Carla in getting her show up and running. I think she's just amazing. So don't forget, Carla's going to be doing the empath sort of weather forecast tomorrow, and that will be wrapping up the show. So we have one more show to go, and then after that, there'll be a number of interviews of yours truly that will be up. So look for those too. So the show doesn't really end. It's just us showing up personally. There'll be interviews that I have that are forthcoming. I'm being interviewed by a number. They will be going up. So if you want to know more about more about who I be and what I offer, then you may be interested in those interviews as well.
Wendy says, thank you, Michael, for your expertise every day. Let's see. I have a picture of a sunset that looks like a fairy with her knees up, Michelle Montgomery. And then Michael asked her if she could post it, and she hasn't quite yet. So that would be kind of.
Have any pictures of fairies or elementals or even entities? I know somebody sent me and they didn't get saved of actually scary, creepy stuff. The Planner series, she says, many people, because of the fear that they have about what's showing up in their energy field, created into boogeymen. She didn't quite say it that way, but words to that effect. If your fear is going to create it into an entity, right? Energy is just energy. When it shows up, if you don't have any fear, let me put it this way. I've been working with a First Nations lady, and she was being admitted to a psychiatric hospital for evaluation. And I told her, get out of there as soon as possible, and then phone me. And I talked to her mother and father and said, could you please get her out of there as soon as possible? So she did. And she's been doing the deep clearing protocol. I talked to her yesterday. She's 100% have any voices in your head anymore, telling you this, and I want you to laugh. I just want you to laugh at them.
Yeah.
Because they have no power over you whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I'm talking about. So when entities go boo and you start laughing at them because you don't have any fear about them, that's the game is it's no longer a game they want to play. That's what I meant.
That there isn't very much like in comedy anymore. People don't really make you laugh anymore. I don't.
Well, the boogeyman can. So I mean, yes, at times that gets so overwhelming, and you think you're going to die, and they're threatening you with your life, and telling you to commit suicide. I'm not saying that this isn't scary. I'm not trying to put that down, but get so excited when people get clear and get past that fear, and they're sovereign human beings, and can turn around to the boogeyman that scared the bejesus out of them, put them in crisis, and nearly took them to death or to psychiatric ward, and just say, boo back, right? Like, nah, whatever, right? I love that. I mean, to me, that's true liberation.
Exactly.
And somebody said 33 days is barely enough for what I've learned. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I've been told you can't give away the kingdom anymore, Tyson. You have to start charging. That means that the new thing that I'm working on now is called Spiritual Millionaire, which is creating a new relationship between you and money. Because money is only a reflection of the energy that you give and you receive. It's a brand new program will be launched early September. I'm really excited to teach this. It's going to be co-taught. And why am I teaching that? Because everybody in this tribe needs to make lots of money so they can afford to pay for the courses from Laura and Tyson, right? Because we're not going to give this away anymore. It's not going to be cheap, right? It's going to cost you a lot of money. And if you don't pay a lot of money, you're not going to respect the teaching. So my job is to get you out of the way about your beliefs about money. So you say, oh, Tyson, yeah, paying $997 for that awesome material once a month is just the best deal on the planet, right? I don't want people saying, oh, I don't know, I can't afford $33, or oh, your course is too expensive, I have to do this or do that, or I have to, win the lottery before I can come and work with you. None of that. Let's get over all that stuff. Let's get you wealthy so that you could learn and grow and deliver your awesome gifts to the world. Like, this is the time. This is the time we have to step up, step out, and do it, right? If not now, then when?
Who are you doing that class with? You and who?
Angela Dumas.
Okay.
Yeah, we've been working on it, and yeah, it's going to be one kick-ass program. It isn't going to be easy because you're going to have to go right down to the bottom of your doubts and fears. You're going to have to learn to get out of your own way. It's more boogeymen, but they're all boogeymen that you created inside of yourself, right?
Right. And she's a millionaire, right?
Well, you have to think about what do we mean by billionaire? What is being a millionaire?
Having $1 million or more in assets, or
no, being a millionaire is living life like a millionaire. It's got nothing to do with money.
Living life like a millionaire?
That's right. Right. All right, one more call.
Okay.
Kimberly, you're Kimberly, you're catching the tail end of the call. This is like sliding into home base.
Yes. I was just watching, and I said the first time I'm watching this show. But I know you're talking about me. So
I was talking about you. Were your ears ringing?
Yeah, and I just wanted to say thank you. I quite honestly haven't felt this good in a very, very long time. And I've been doing the deep clearing protocol for, maybe a month and a half.
Yeah.
I would say close to 2 months.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Yeah.
I finally found the what I needed, what I've been going through, kind of these type of situations for also, throughout my life.
Right.
I couldn't explain a lot of the things, and now things are kind of finally making sense. Finally found people who understand completely what's going on.
Well, I think you're a doorway to a lot of other First Nations people that don't understand this, and I think this is where the cross-cultural communication can happen. I love doing sweat lodges. I'd never done what you've done with the ceremony. What do? You do the name Sundance. Sorry, yeah, Sundance. I've never done the Sundance, but all that brings out entities out of people because they're having to deal with their fear and near-death experiences and cleansing and healing themselves. So now you know how to do this, right? And I'd really love I'm getting shivers up my spine while I talk to you about this. I really would love for you to go further and be a First Nations person who understands this clearing technique that you can take it to people that are coming off of alcohol, coming off of addiction, whether through the sweat lodge or whether it's through the Sundance or any of the ceremonies, and helping them and taking this body of information into the First Nations. I would love that. So I know this sounds like you're Big Daddy, but I love you. I'm so proud of you. I think you're incredible that you did this and you stepped up and did the work. It brings me to tears. It's so exciting to hear you with such clarity, right? In such a short period of time. So
yes, thank you.
Yeah. So
Thank you.
So go kick some butt in a loving way.
Did you had mentioned you would like to receive a testimony?
Yes, please.
Did you need me to write my
yes, please do.
down?
Yes, please write it out. I think Michael will have recorded this, but words need to go in a book. We can't put voices in a book yet. At least I don't know how to do it. Okay. All right? All right.
Okay.
I love you. Take care. And you know how to get hold of me. Right?
All right.
All right. Bye for now.
All right. Thank you. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right. So it's the top of the hour. Thank you for staying on. And I greatly appreciate it. I have to run to a mastermind.
Ooh, fun.
And yeah, and hang out with the girls. I get to be one of the girls today.
Yeah, there you go.
And then off to the Dow. We have a Dow presentation with my master, so that will be exciting. He's just getting back from Taiwan, so I haven't seen him for months, so that will be exciting. So exciting day ahead. And so we're back for our last show tomorrow with the one and only Carla, the Carla Show. So until then, be healthy, wealthy, and wise. Bye for now.
Bye.
For quality online wellness products, courses, and services, visit our sponsors, thewellnessstore.ca.
Thanks,
and
Michael.
the Extraordinary
That's
Healing
pretty
Arts
cool, eh?
Academy located at thewellnessacademy.ca. To stay in touch, visit us at thewellnessshow.ca.
Good.
And until
Too
next
bad we
time,
have
be
to do this
healthy,
at the end of the
wealthy,
show.
and wise.
Just bringing everybody down with what you have to do. Yeah, and thank you, Kimberly.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That was powerful. Yeah.
Yeah.